Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the Wealth Thesis, where we decode the psychology of success to help you design a life of freedom. In life, we are often obsessed with the age-old question, how do we make the money we earn continue to generate returns? The most common way is putting that money into a bank. It feels safe. It's a widely accepted solution to make your money work for you. But here is a truth. Relying solely on bank interest is simply not the smart way to get rich. Today, we are going to explore the 10 assets that make people rich that the poor don't know. This is more than just a list. It is a lens to reshape your investment thinking, inspire you to change your habits, and grasp the momentum toward the prosperity you desire. For now, let's dive into this list of 10 assets. Number 1. Precious metals, gold, silver, platinum. The number 1 asset on our list is precious metals, often referred to as God's money, gold, silver, and platinum. In a world where fiat money is printed non-stop to fund government deficits, confidence in paper currency is eroding. Paper money is a human construct. It has no intrinsic value, and the government can print more anytime. When the money supply increases, the value of each currency unit decreases, and that is inflation. This fact compels the rich to seek safe havens, places where value is preserved regardless of central bank actions. Precious metals are the answer. Financial experts always advise that these are some of the most worthwhile assets to invest in because they cannot be easily created and will never lose their intrinsic value. They are scarce, physical assets recognized as a means of storing value throughout thousands of years of human history. The rich always dedicate a significant portion of their portfolios to buying precious metals. They understand that precious metals will always increase in value when inflation rises. This is a core capital preservation strategy. Just look at the numbers. In the early 1970s, 1 ounce of gold was roughly $40. By 2025, the price of an ounce of gold has surpassed $4,000. Over half a century, gold has increased its value about 100 times, far exceeding any savings interest rate a bank could offer. Beyond gold, silver is also a potentially shrewd safe haven asset. According to a Bloomberg report, as of mid-October 2025, the price of silver has increased by 70% compared to gold's 55% rise. Silver is not only a precious metal, but also a vital industrial commodity used in electronics, medical equipment, and nuclear reactors. This combination of scarcity and utility makes silver an indispensable component in the rich person's portfolio. Number 2. Land and real estate. If precious metals are a store of value, then land and real estate are tangible, solid assets that provide both capital appreciation and stable cash flow. This is one of the most popular and beloved asset classes among the elite. The rich understand land and real estate is a long-term investment capable of maintaining its value through multiple economic cycles, even growing stronger after every crisis. Accountants consider land a non-depreciable asset for a simple reason: it is scarce and always in demand. Consider the scarcity. The planet's land area is fixed, but the population is constantly growing. With rising populations, the demand for housing, schools, factories, and commercial space will always be high. This fundamental law of supply and demand ensures that land investment remains a top priority for the wealthy. The rich employ several strategies in real estate. Residential properties are seen as fixed assets. They appreciate over time and yield high profits upon sale. Commercial or rental properties are one of the most favored ways to generate passive income. Another powerful advantage of real estate is tax benefits. Real estate investing reduces your income taxes through depreciation and various deductions, which feels like putting free money in your pocket. When investors acquire more and more rental properties, they become less dependent on their next paycheck. And that is the golden moment when they truly achieve financial freedom. Data also reinforces this philosophy. According to OECD research, between 2015 and 2025, housing prices in the US increased by 55% and in Canada by 44%. This sustained growth, even through recessionary cycles, confirms that real estate is an excellent hedge against inflation and an indispensable asset for anyone aiming to build long-term wealth. Number 3. Bonds. Having discussed high, low-risk assets like precious metals and real estate, we now turn to an investment tool the rich use to balance their portfolio: bonds. A bond is essentially a type of debt security. When a government or corporation needs to raise cash to finance projects or operations, they issue bonds. When you buy a bond, you are lending money to the issuer, government, or company for a specific period, typically 1 year or more. In return, you receive a fixed interest payment periodically. When the bond reaches maturity, the initial principal is returned to the investor. The rich choose bonds not for explosive profits, but for their safety and ability to provide fixed income. It is an investment that offers assurance. Specifically, government bonds, GSECs, are considered super safe because they are primarily guaranteed by the full faith and credit of the government. The government of any stable nation is always the last party to default. The philosophy of the wealthy is, stocks make you rich, bonds keep you rich. Bonds act like a handbrake, helping slow the rate of loss in a portfolio when the stock market experiences volatility. Of course, low risk means lower returns. Bond yields are often much lower than stocks or real estate. For example, the current US 10-year Treasury bond yield, US 10Y, is only 4.067%. However, in a wealthy person's diversified portfolio, bonds play an essential role in preserving capital and creating a stable, reliable income stream. This is a crucial lesson. The rich do not just seek the highest return, they also seek balance and preservation. Number 4. Stocks. If bonds are debt, then stocks are ownership. A stock certificate confirms you are the owner of a fraction of a publicly traded company. When you buy stock, you become a shareholder, which grants you two main benefits. First, the right to receive a share of the company's profits in the form of dividends, and second, the right to participate in some important company decisions through voting at shareholder meetings. Imagine this. If a business issues 100,000 shares and you own 10,000 of them, you own 10% of that business. The rich invest widely and strategically in stocks. According to data from the U.S. Federal Reserve, the top 10% wealthiest Americans own nearly 90% of the total stock market. This figure shows that stocks are not merely an investment tool, but a core pillar in accumulating and maintaining wealth. So why do the rich prioritize stocks as a valuable investment channel? Reason number 1, stocks have higher profit potential. They offer the opportunity to receive dividends and capital gains, buying low, selling high, much higher than savings rates. Reason number 2, stocks have high flexibility and liquidity. They are easily bought and sold quickly on exchanges or online platforms, providing a liquidity that real estate cannot match. Reason number 3, stocks offer accessibility and diversification. You can start investing in stocks with a relatively small amount of capital and hold shares in many companies across different sectors. This diversification helps minimize risk. If one industry struggles, another can still grow. Reason number 4, stocks contribute to personal growth. Investing in the stock market is an effective way to accumulate assets and build funds for the long-term future. The rich favor stocks over bonds for their higher profit potential despite the higher risk. They accept calculated risks to earn above-average returns while still using bonds as a foundational layer of protection. Number 5. Mutual and index funds. If you find researching every individual stock too complex or risky, then mutual funds and index funds are the solution the rich use to simplify the investment process and maximize diversification. While stocks allow you to buy shares in a single company, mutual and index funds pool money from many investors to buy a basket of many different companies. Essentially, investors share both the risk and the return from the fund's investment activity. Index funds are statistically one of the best performing asset classes. The S&P 500 aggregates the 500 best performing companies in the U.S. What is remarkable is its self-adjusting mechanism. When one company drops out of the top 500, it is replaced by a better performing newcomer. This ensures you are always invested in the most dynamic and successful businesses in the economy, eliminating worries about managing a declining company. In terms of performance, the S&P 500 has demonstrated strong and consistent growth. Over the last 10 years, this index has yielded an average annual return of approximately 10%, excluding dividends. This growth rate has remained stable across decades, even overcoming major fluctuations like the COVID-19 crisis. This is a tool that even the investment legend Warren Buffett recommends. For most investors, index and mutual funds should be present in every portfolio of those looking to build long-term wealth. They help you achieve instant diversification, minimize the individual risk of a company collapsing, and allow you to enjoy the overall growth of the global market. Number 6. Raw materials and commodities. The rich consider raw materials and commodities a strategic investment tool. It is not just a way to generate profit, but an essential mechanism to hedge against inflation and protect their portfolio from unpredictable economic fluctuations. The rich's investment philosophy regarding commodities is simple yet effective. They buy when commodities are cheap, often during recessionary cycles or when supply exceeds demand, hold them and then sell when demand surges, driving up prices. This is a cyclical investment strategy that requires patience and market analysis. Why are commodities considered a powerful inflation hedge? The reason is that commodities are often required inputs for most production processes and are major consumption items for households and businesses. When production costs rise and general prices increase inflation, the price of these raw materials will also rise or even lead the inflation rate. This means that when traditional investments like bonds or some growth stocks struggle in a high inflation environment, commodities tend to yield better returns. To invest in commodities, the rich have four main strategic options. Number 1, direct investment, buying and storing physical commodities like gold and silver. Number 2, using futures contracts. This is a more complex tool that allows speculation on future price movements without physical possession. Number 3, buying stocks of commodity-focused ETFs. This is a popular and more accessible approach for small investors. Number 4, buying stocks of commodity-producing companies. For example, investing in mining or energy companies. By allocating a portion of capital to commodities, the rich ensure that, regardless of the global economic direction, recession, or inflation surge, they still possess an appreciating asset. Number 7, patents. When we talk about assets, we usually think of tangible things like land or gold. But for the 21st century, rich intangible assets, or intellectual property, IP, can yield far greater value. The most prominent among these is patents. Simply put, when you invent something new and groundbreaking, you can protect that invention by filing a patent. A patent is a legal document certifying you as the inventor and detailing what your invention does. The power of a patent lies in its ability to create a monopoly. It prohibits any other party from copying, using, or selling your invention for a certain period without permission. This monopoly is a significant competitive advantage in the market, leading to huge profits. How do patents generate profit? A patent holder can earn money through three main avenues. Number 1, licensing. They can license the use of the invention, exclusive or non-exclusive, to other companies. In return, those companies must pay royalties to the owner. Number 2, direct sale. They can sell the patent outright to an interested party, often a large corporation looking to eliminate a competitor or strengthen its market position. Number 3, commercial exploitation. They use the patent to manufacture and sell their own products without worrying about immediate competition. Consider real-world examples of the economic power of intellectual property. The technology corporation Kodak earned over $500 million after selling 1,100 of its patents. The patent portfolio of the telecommunications company Nortel was even more impressive, selling for $4.5 billion to an alliance of tech giants, including Apple, Microsoft, RIM, and Sony. These figures demonstrate that an idea, when properly protected, can become a commercially exploitable product and one of the most valuable assets in the rich person's portfolio. The rich invest in innovation and the power of ideas. Number 8, safe haven currencies. We have discussed how cash in the bank is devalued by inflation. So why do the rich still hold a portion of their assets in currency, but a special type of currency, safe haven currencies? Safe haven currencies are issued by countries with strong economies, prudent fiscal policies, and highly stable geopolitical environments, making them reliable stores of value. The rich allocate a portion of their assets to these safe currencies as part of a broader strategy for capital preservation and risk mitigation in their global portfolios. The Swiss franc is the preferred safe haven currency for the wealthy and large institutional investors. The reason is clear. Switzerland has one of the world's strongest economic systems, known for its long-standing neutrality and incredibly stable banking system. When the world is plunged into instability, large funds rush into Switzerland, driving up the value of the Swiss franc. Alongside the Swiss franc, the US dollar and the Japanese yen are two other popular safe haven currencies. Although the USD is sometimes controversial due to the Fed's monetary policy, it remains the global reserve currency and legal tender backed by the full faith and credit of the US government. For the rich, this acts as an insurance policy. When global stock markets crash, when debt crises erupt, or when geopolitical conflict flares up, these safe haven currencies act as a defensive wall. They may not bring explosive returns, but they ensure that a core part of their assets will be protected, preventing severe wealth erosion. Number 9. Collectibles. We are now entering a unique asset class where passion meets investment, collectibles. This category includes luxury and exclusive items such as vintage cars, rare artwork, handcrafted luxury handbags, limited edition watches, and even rare whiskey. The rich invest in collectibles not just out of personal passion. They do this for two strategic financial reasons: portfolio diversification and long-term asset preservation. While stocks, bonds, and real estate form the core of their portfolio, luxury collectibles serve as a significant alternative asset class, showing low correlation with traditional markets. According to the Knight Frank 2024 Wealth Report, ultra-high net worth individuals, UHNWIs, allocate an average of up to 20% of their investment portfolios to luxury collectibles. What makes collectibles valuable is their scarcity and historical narrative. Consider a vintage car. Unlike a new car that depreciates the moment it leaves the lot, some classic cars from brands like Ferrari, Aston Martin, and Porsche become more valuable over time, just like fine wine. Look at the record prices. Andy Warhol's painting Shot Sage Blue Marilyn became one of the most expensive 20th century artworks when it sold for $195 million. In the automotive sector, the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe sold for $143 million in 2022. These items are not just objects, they are timeless stores of value. Number 10. Cash. It may sound contradictory, after all the warnings about inflation, that we finish with cash. But for the rich, cash is not a place for money to sit still. It is a strategic asset held with a clear purpose. Even though bank interest rates today often fail to keep up with inflation, the rich still hold a substantial portion of their assets in cash. They don't hold cash aimlessly. They keep it to maintain liquidity and the ability to act quickly. Reason number 1, seizing opportunity. Cash is dry powder that allows them to take advantage of any opportunities that arise in the market. When the market struggles or a valuable asset is sold at a discount, the rich have enough cash to jump in and close dream deals immediately, while others are still scrambling for loans or liquidating assets. Reason number 2, higher profit cash deals. In business and real estate transactions, people often offer better prices for cash deals, resulting in higher profit margins for the buyer. Additionally, the rich use their cash to generate supplemental income through peer-to-peer lending, P2P. This involves lending money to others through digital platforms who then repay the principal plus interest. Compare this. While the average bank offers less than 1% interest on deposits, P2P lending can yield returns ranging from 7% to 15% or even 20%. In this way, the rich are turning inactive cash into a high-return passive income asset that far surpasses inflation. In summary, cash is necessary, but only when used as a leverage point for larger, profitable opportunities, not as a long-term dwelling place. My friend, we have gone through the 10 assets that make people rich that the poor don't know. From physical gold bars to complex financial tools like index funds and intangible assets like patents, the lesson we learn is this: wealth is not about how much money you earn, but about the number of assets you accumulate. The rich understand that merely saving is not enough. They use a variety of assets to diversify their portfolio and create a protective circle around themselves and their loved ones. The true meaning of being wealthy is that no matter how the global economy changes, you remain protected. After listening to this analysis, which asset among these 10 will you prioritize to start your financial freedom journey? Comment below and share your upcoming investment goals. If you found this video valuable, providing knowledge and inspiration, don't hesitate to hit like to help the channel share this message with more people. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content. We'll see you in the next video.